Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for May 30th, 2021. So it is our Memorial Day weekend, which means a lot of us get Monday off. Not everybody does, but where I work, we get that's one of the one holiday. We have a short list of holidays that we actually get. So that is one of them. It's a long time coming from, New Year's to now is like the first holiday we get. In those months. I just thought those 5 months just drag, which is usually why I take some vacation in the middle. Anyway, sorry. So I have a 3-day weekend. So far I've been super lazy and done nothing. I've had computer issues. My computer is not that old. I don't think it's like 4 or 5 years old, a laptop. And now it's having trouble updating, and I don't want to buy another computer. So my brother's trying to convince me to buy one though, because he likes gadgets and he wants me to buy an Apple or a MacBook Air, because I want a laptop, because I want to be able to travel with it when we're allowed to be out in coffee shops again to write, and I don't want to pay for that. But anyway, so many issues that way. I'm still paying for the stupid procedure that I did earlier this year. That went through this week. I'm just not happy for that. But overall, and then my phone has been acting up, so we will see what happens here. That I need to upgrade. Everything always all at once. Why does that happen? Beyond that, work is normal. It's pretty busy right now. Again, we're going into not our busy season, like my department's busy season, but everybody else's. So then we are ramped up as well. It's just been a long week. It was a long, full week because the 2 weeks before I had a day off in those weeks because I took a long weekend. So this week was really long because I was there all week. Anyway, so I'm glad to have the weekend. So I think I just was lazy yesterday. I didn't get anything done that I wanted to, especially after the computer issues took 5 hours to update, and then it rejected some of the updates. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to buy a new computer. Anyway, so my reading this week was very different from the rest of the month. The rest of the month I was reading to read or other things, and then so this week I had a buddy read, and I also read another book in some of my series that I want to get through. So, because I realized I hadn't, as I showed you the board last week, I'd realized I hadn't read any books in any series, and I am trying to get through all the books, all the series that I'm in the middle of, so I did focus on that. So, but there's more stuff. Anyway, we'll get into that. So let's talk about the books that I did finish, the ones I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. So I did my buddy read with Tia and all the books. So we had read Magic Bites. Isn't that the first one? Oh boy, yeah, in April. And it had been it was a reread for me, but it had been 10 years since I'd read the book. So 10 or 11 years. So it was, I think it was 9 actually. So it had been a long time. I didn't remember almost anything of it. So we liked it, but wasn't that great. But everybody tells us to continue and it should get better. So book 2 was a far improvement to me. I enjoyed this a lot more. I think that was their first book. Alona Andrews is a husband-wife writing team. So that was their first book, and there was rough patches. It was a very classic urban fantasy. I just like the way that they're different. They're different kind of vampires than other ones I've seen. Again, I'm a big shapeshifter. That paranormal is my favorite. So I like that we have those. I liked this one a lot better. I think the mystery was good in this one too. Again, these are urban fantasies, so it's an alternate Atlanta where magic goes in and out. So technology works in and out, because when the magic's up, the technology doesn't work, and so they have to live in this time when that's happening. And during this book is happening a flare, which means the magic is coming up a lot more often and the technology doesn't work as often. So it's a different, it's not normally quite that bad where it shifts that often. And so that was kind of an interesting magic point. And then again, we have a mystery of a witch coven in this one, that something happened and a young girl is missing her mother. And so Kate stumbles across that and has to figure out what is going on. And that, of course, brings her closer to other supernatural elements in the area because she is, you know, a mercenary who kind of has a in-between kind of weird job, and then also she works with the shifters, and so it's kind of a dynamic there. So, and then it was a really fun book for again, it's a 260, you know, 260 pages. It's not very long. Most of these are pretty short. I think they get a little longer once they get more into the series, but so it was really fun. We really enjoyed our buddy read. I really enjoyed talking to her about it and talking about some characters we didn't trust or something. So I'm looking forward to, we're hoping to pick up the third one, Magic Strikes, in June. I'm hoping to do it by the end of the month because I want to I think I want to try to keep to trying to do one a month as much as I can. I just want to get through this series, and it's definitely one of those ones. I know that there's going to be some novellas farther into the series that I have to intermix as well, but for right now, I think I have like 5 or 6 of the books on my shelf, so I'd really like to get through at least that many, as I said, but continue on in this series. I'm enjoying it, and the characters I like the main character, Kate, and Kieran, I'm getting to like him. We'll see what happens. There are parts that I like him, and then other ones I'm like, oh, shifters. Anyway. But I really liked it. So it's a good urban fantasy. I think it's a really good, I think book 1 is a little, for people who read a lot of urban fantasy, I think it's a little rough because you're like, ooh, first book syndrome. But it definitely picks up into the second one. I think they were, you know, getting better. So I think I'm looking forward to continuing with the series. So anyway, so I'm not giving up on that. I mean, again, right now, it does not feel like it'll be a favorite series. It's definitely just a good series so far. So we'll see. I'm going to give it a little bit more before I, you know, definitely say this will never be a favorite of all time. But a lot of the ones that I pick, that I decide are favorites, I usually like from the first book on. And this one's kind of on the first book. So we'll see. I just said, I enjoyed the second book so much more, and I'm so glad that I read that. And thank you, Tia, for the buddy read. It made me make sure I read it. And then I picked up It's In His Kiss by Julia Quinn, which is book 7 in the Bridgerton series. I'm trying to finish this out. So again, I just felt like historical romance, and I hadn't read, you know, because I hadn't read any of my series, so none of anything that that I was in the middle of. So I was like, okay, last week I was like, you know what, I've read a lot of other stuff, so let's read some fun stuff. So I read this at the same time I was reading Magic Burns, because I had word count on that one, and then, or page count on that, and then I would go and read this. So I read this pretty quickly, and I really enjoyed this. It's not in the top tier of my favorite ones. It's a good solid one in the middle. Like I would say this was in the middle right now. And I would be interested, I guess I'll have to see if I ever rank them. But yeah, the point is, I know it's not definitely in the high. It was definitely a good one though. I really enjoyed this. This follows Hyacinth, who is the eighth and youngest child of the Bridgertons. And so it's her story. And I like Gareth a lot, who is the main lead, the male lead, and I liked him. There's only a few things I was like getting mad at him and what he was thinking about, but you know, that's typical. But overall, I like their story. His brother has passed away the year before, and he has given a diary from that his brother had found that was from their grandmother. And that's written in Italian. And so he, you know, when he finds it, he's so excited. He goes and sees his grandmother, Lady Danby, which I love her. She's like one of my favorite characters in this whole series. And she and Hyacinth, they're reading messed up romance novels. I don't know. Anyway, so Hyacinth tells him she can sort of translate Italian from a governess that she'd had. So that's kind of they start interacting over that. So I thought overall I really like this. I think there's certain plot points that I was like, oh, I wish you'd taken that a different way, or gone, or given a better resolution to that. But overall, the story and their interactions were fun. I really enjoyed them overall as a couple. So again, it was a good read. Not spectacular, just really fun. So I have one more novel that follows the 7th child, Gregory. So I hope to get to that one this month, and then hopefully get to all the epilogues that were written later, I believe. I have the whole collection in a book too as well. So, because I'm not reading them, a lot of the newer copies come with the second epilogue, but I don't want to read any of those until after I'm done with the whole series, because I started to read the one that's in The Duke and... No, not The Duke and I. Yeah. Was that the one that had the first one I read? And it started to spoil things for me for the series. And I'm like, don't read those. Don't read those until the end. So I'm not gonna read them. Anyway, so those are the books that I finished. I'm so talkative today. Anyway, so I do have kind of a DNF or put on hold. I'm going to say put on hold because I will come back to this. I might even get back to this in Victober. I just can't do this anymore, and I've just decided not to continue with a read-along that I was doing on Instagram. And that is Dr. Thorne by Anthony Trolp. Now, it's not... I don't think it's really the book's fault. I think really... I read The Warden... I reread The Warden in January, and then I read Barchester Towers in February and March. And then I started this in early April, and I got 4 chapters in, and it wasn't, or 5 chapters, I got 5 chapters. And again, it just wasn't, I guess it wasn't pulling me in at the time. And then I didn't force myself to read a chapter a day. I couldn't get myself to do anything like that. And then every time, like yesterday, I planned to sit down with this at least to read, 20, 30, maybe 50 pages and make a decision. And I could not even pick this up. So it's just not the time for me. It's not the book's fault, I don't think. I think it's definitely a book I still want to read. It's definitely a series I still want to continue and finish. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it all in 1 year. And I'm not going to force myself because I liked... The Warden and the Barchester Towers I liked better, but it's a different kind of stuff than I like to read all the time. Like, I don't know, it's very quiet. I mean, I like the narrator because he's kind of snarky and, making little comments, and that's kind of different for me. I do like that. It's just, but it's just the series, it's all very quiet. This is the third in the Barsetshire Chronicles, and we're following Dr. Thorne and his niece who lives with him, and then also the Gresham family, which are the squires of the area, and then their extended relatives who think they're so hot. Anyway, I think it's just not the right time. I think reading too many, they're too close together for me, I think, for this series. So I am gonna keep this, again, I'm not gonna get rid of the series. I'm not taking it off my currently reading right now. I'm gonna leave it because I really want to get this book done by the end of the year. So I'm gonna leave it for Victober. Hopefully I will pick it up then. If I pick it up before that, that's great. I'm just going to drop out of the read along. I'm just not ready to move on. Everybody's discussing it on Instagram, and I feel really bad because I can't say anything because I didn't get very far. And yesterday I was so gung-ho to try to do this. And then what I did is I didn't read for 4 hours because I kept staring at it and then looking and going, no, I'd rather watch the television and watch stuff off BookTube or something. So it didn't happen. So this is just going to be, as I said, it's a DNF for now, but it's really just I'm going to push this off and give myself some more time and then come back to it. And I really think that by Victober I will be ready to focus on this better, and I'll be more in the mood for Victorian literature again. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what my hang up is, but I'm not forcing myself to read anything right now. I think I just need to come to that conclusion that every time I try to force something, it doesn't go well for me. So I'm just gonna hold off on that one. So sorry, that took a long time. I'm very talkative this morning. So then let's talk about the books that I'm currently reading, that I'm actively reading. I did start yesterday a new manga series, Kami Can't Communicate, Volume 1 by Tomohito Oda. So this is, it's a series, it's kind of actually pretty funny. It's about a girl who doesn't, she can't get herself to talk in front of other people. I mean, it's very sad that, but again, it's a manga, so there's some funny stuff in here. Where is the right translator? John Weary. Anyway, so this follows Kami, who, again, she's like kind of like the ice princess at school. She doesn't talk much at all, and she just kind of stares at people when they talk to her. So she doesn't answer because she can't get herself to talk. So it's really sad that way. Like, again, I think that's, her anxiety is really high. And then, oh, what's his name? I can't remember how to say. Tadano, is now in her school, and you know, he's like, he's trying to make friends and things, but he sits next to her in class, and so he's the first one to kind of finally figures out what's wrong. And his now their mission is to get her to make 100 friends. That's her goal. So I haven't got very far. It's not one, I don't know if I'm going to read past this one, but I thought I'd at least try it because one of my friends online, or one of my writer friends, was talking about it. And as I said, I only read a couple series of manga, you know, right now. I'm very and I used to read a whole lot. So again, I don't read many of the high school ones anymore, except when they're connected to other series that I'm already reading. But anyway, so far pretty good. So it's from the library, so I need to read that. Cat. Yes, it's Cooper. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, so then I started my fantasy sci-fi pick for the month that I did with my spinner wheel. The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis. So I'm having trouble with this one too. It's been a weird reading week. So I started this about Wednesday or Thursday, and there are parts about this I like. So this is in the future where there's a lot of pollution on Earth. So many people have left. I think most people have left the planet, and there were people who went to Mars and developed there, and then the people, and they're called Geans or something, and then there's another group went towards Mercury and Venus, and they're called the Icarus or the Icari or something, you know, off of Icarus. Anyway, so the point is that they went, and then they and then there was supposed to be some big war with technology that was like a century of war with AIs and stuff. So there's the space stuff, there's planets, like they've colonized these planets, and you know, people have lived there for generations now, and all the planets have their own thing. So far I've only seen a little bit of Venus, and then and then there's a ship that it starts on called, I think it's the Juno, and I can't remember the name of the ship. Anyway, but the Geans have the Juno. So the Geans have this like religion society called with the sisters that that I do not like. I have to say this is probably the reason I'm having trouble with this, and I thought I was gonna enjoy this. I didn't realize what exactly I guess it meant. So there's two. We're following three threads. One is the first sister on the ship Juno, who thinks she's going to be able to retire with the captain once he leaves, but that does not happen. Now she's trapped on the ship still in the position. She's not technically first sister anymore, which is the first position, which means she is only like pretty much accountable to the captain, but everybody, all the other sisters, you know, there's for second and third sister, and then there's everybody, all the other ones on the ship, and they take like confessions from the soldiers who are on the ship and provide certain services, and only first sister, who is connected to the captain, does not have to do that second part. Because she's connected to the captain. So she's lost this position because the other captain left, and a new captain's come in, and the new captain, how is her name said? Ren. She's brutal. Like, she's like, doesn't care. Like, she's very much a different captain, and it's kind of, so there's that. So the first sister is trying to figure out what to do. She's trying to protect herself, but she's, you know, now in a tentative position because things have changed. So I'm not enjoying that storyline. The other storyline is we're following a man who's, well, I think it's a man. Like, it's kind of ambiguous. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so he is a disgraced soldier from the Icarus side during some conflict with the Geans. And his partner, he trained up with, he's the rapier and someone the dagger. So they're a combination, like a team. And so they got, because of their failed fight, they were separated, and he went to do something else, and the other one went off to do something else, another thing. And I think, and she's been gone, and then now he finds out that she's turned traitor, and he's now sent to go after her, and we get, you know, his emotions about losing her, and then again, so that part is interesting because they're going on a mission, so there's some action with that and things going on with that. I don't mind that storyline so much. Then the third one is the one who's considered a traitor, and we're getting a voice recording about her story. So again, this is a really weird book, and I don't know if I explained that very well. And again, I haven't read past 80 pages, or I read about 82 pages, and it's weird. I like parts of it, and I think the world building is interesting. I just don't know if I like First Sister, I don't like her. And again, it's mostly because I don't like her situation, and that's because I just don't like, that doesn't sound like a good place to be, and I don't know if I want to follow that. And especially what scene I stopped in, I was just like, oh, I don't want to read this. So I don't know. I put this down. I did not read this yesterday. I do still want to read this to see what happens. At least get a little bit farther. I don't know. 82 pages seems a little early to give up on it. It's just, but I just could not pick it up yesterday. And again, I was trying to pick up this one. I was trying to pick up Dr. Thorne. It just wasn't happening. So, I don't know what I'm going to do about this one. Because this one is this was one of those ones I bought kind of on a whim. I saw this at Barnes & Noble, and I just picked it up that day, and I didn't know much of anything about it. I'd seen it like a flash of it on someone's channel a long time ago. And I took a chance, and I'm just not sure this is the kind of sci-fi I want to read right now. So I don't know. So if anybody's read this, let me know if I should continue, if I should just push past this and it's going to get better. I don't know. I don't know. That kind of politics with a religion and a sexual element is just not my thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Which is, I don't know. I'm not clicking with it, which is sad. Anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. And then the book I picked up yesterday, because I couldn't think what else to pick up, is I picked up The Main Event by Shelley Lawrenston. So this is the first book in the Pride series. This is the series that I missed of hers that was earlier that that actually is connected to the Honey Badger series, which I read and really enjoyed that series. So, but they mention people in this series in those books. So now I want to read all these. I think there's like 10 or so. I can't remember. I'll have to go. I haven't got the list out because I own 2 physically. I just got this cat, Cooper. I just got this copy this month, and then I had the second book already physically, and then I have like several of them on ebook. So I could read it that way. I don't know. I'm just a physical reader. We'll see what happens. But I do want to read these. So this one's split up, and there's 2 good size books. They're both like 225 pages. So they're not quite, they're almost full like novel, but I say they're a little short. So like they're both paranormal romances. Sorry. And they're funny. Not as funny as the Honey Badgers. I gotta say that. That and the Crows are some of my favorites. Anyway, but this one follows Des, who is a New York cop, and she's grown up in the area, and so she's very established there with her family and her friends and stuff. And she when she was in high school in her freshman year, she had been friends with Mace Llewellyn, and they were like best friends, but nothing ever happened between them. And then she had to change schools, so then they lost touch. And now it's like 20 years later, he's come back from just getting out of the Navy, and he's on a mission to find her. Well, the little twist here is he is a lion shifter, and so so again, he's got all the shifter qualities. And then she's a cop, which is hilarious. Anyway, so it's just fun. It's just it's a good romp. It's not nothing super serious. Again, there's a murder mystery. She's really good about putting little mysteries and stuff as well. So one of the other lion males has been killed before he showed up, before Mace shows up. And Desi was called out on the case, but then she got pulled because Mace's sister, Missy, does not like her from when they were in high school. So she got taken off, but she's still kind of involved in the case because, again, that's kind of how that goes. But I do like their romance. It's fun. It's not like, it's like insta-lust, even though they knew each other from 20 years before that. So they both had feelings for each other back then, but of course nothing happened. So it's one of those kind of stories. I'm not big on second chance romances usually, but this is like a far enough distance, and they didn't actually date. So to me, that's different. That's like not quite a second chance. So it's a different terminology. I don't know. The one that got away kind of thing, but when they were younger, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm enjoying it. It's just a fun read. I'm hoping, again, today and tomorrow to get through this. We'll see. I might finish it by the end of the month. But that's kind of what I'm reading right now. So that's, again, a fun paranormal. I wanted to start this series because I do want to read all the Pride series. And then I want to go back through and read the Honey Badgers, because then there's so many characters they mention, and I know they're from these books. And I think it would add such a fun element to now read those and then get them from this. So that's kind of my goal. So anyway, we'll see. Another series started. I know. Anyway. And then, I don't know, I said I'm probably going to read that today and tomorrow. I don't know if I read a lot today and tomorrow. Again, I'm off. I'm not doing anything. I have no plans whatsoever. I do have to, I'm going to go out for lunch, go and grab lunch and bring it back, because I have a free burger at Red Robin for my birthday month, and I better go. Anyway, before the end of the month. Beyond that, I don't have any plans at all. So I plan to get a lot of reading done. We'll see. I'm hoping to film a few things for the next week. We'll see if that happens. But on the 1st, I'm going to start 2 books for some of the things I've planned for June. One of them is a read-along with Kate Howe and a group of people there that we're doing. I think we're going to do Voxer. And it's The Sun in the Morning by MMK. She is a writer, and this is my early years in India in England. So she was, I think, born and raised in India, and then at some point she goes to England for a while. And this is her story about that. And it's like a 3-part autobiography, I believe. So we're going to try to read the first one starting in June. I think we're going to read about a section. I've kind of tabbed it out. So some of the sections are like 70 pages, some are 100, and then the shortest one is like 50. So like next week is only 50. But I don't know, we might change that, but we'll see how fast we read it. I want to at least try it, but I'm going to start it on the 1st and see how it goes. And I'm hoping to read, a few pages every day just to get through this. Because again, it's kind of it sounds really interesting that about her childhood and stuff, and again in India. So I'm kind of curious about this. I have not read a book by MMK. I have Shadow of the Moon on my physical TBR here, and then I also have the Far Pavilions on my wish list that I'd like to buy, but I don't want to. I've decided to start this, at least this volume, before I read one of her other ones, because again, just to get kind of context on her, but I don't want to read, I do want to read at least one of those before we get to the part where she starts writing about them, because that could be bad. So, so I might pick up the Far Pavilions, but I want to try Shadow of the Moon first. So I don't know. I might pick up that this month. Try that. I don't know. We'll see. But because I guess I think those are historical fictions. So but anyway, and I know she writes mysteries as well. Maybe I'll get to those later, but I'm interested I'm curious to start this again to something new, and I'm kind of excited about that. So I'll start that on the 1st, and then I think my first read for the Ancients-A-Thon is going to be Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. This is the translation by Simon Armitage. So this is a library book. I have to turn it in next weekend, so I have like a week left. And again, it's in verse. So we'll see how this goes. I don't remember. I'll know more about they think it dates for about the 1400s. The manuscript that has survived with the full text, I guess. I think they found other ones, but they so I'm not sure. So I don't know anything about the Green Knight or the Sir Gawain and the Green Knight except very vaguely. I remember the story. And then that movie trailer came out and I asked for this right away for my library. So there's already holds on it now. I beat everybody else out. So I do want to get to this though for Ancients-A-Thon. So again, that is put on by Jennifer Brooks and Tory at Hufflepuff Discovery, which is where you read books that are books that were published or written before 1700. So this is again 1400, so this counts. So this is my first one I want to try to get through since I got it from the library, and I want to see how it goes. I've not read a whole lot of King Arthur related texts in years, and I have a couple of them on my shelf that I could totally read as well that are probably old enough. I'll have to check the dates on them, but this is one I want to try to get to. So beyond that, I have no idea what I'm going to read, and we'll see. I mean, if I finish main event today or tomorrow, it'll probably be tomorrow. I don't know. How much do I have left? Oh, I have like 300 pages. It's going to be tomorrow sometime probably. I don't think I'm going to read that much today. But we'll see. I don't know what I'll pick up. I might hopefully get back to First Sister. So let me know if you think I should, or I should just DNF it because I'm not enjoying it. I don't know. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. I'm just not compelled to read it. I guess that's my problem. So my board, we get to mark off a few things. I get to mark off 2 continues because I continued 2 series. Very awesome. And technically, I can mark off a historical fiction because I read the Bridgerton novels. Beyond that, the board's not perfect this month, but I've gotten quite a few things read. As I said, the only thing I might be able to put is if I finish the main event, I'll be able to add a series. But beyond that, I'm probably not going to get any more checks off there. So anyway, so that is everything. I've talked a long time. So what are you guys reading? Anything interesting? Do you think I should, do you think I'm doing the right thing by dropping books that I'm just not sure about? Or like the Trolp, I think I just need to wait a little bit longer and then get back to it. First Sister, I don't know what to do about that book. Like I really want to DNF it, and I don't know if I should just give it 20 more pages. I'm at 82, 83 pages. I don't know. Anyway, let me know if you're reading anything good. And if you guys are in the US, I hope you're enjoying your 3-day weekend if you have it. If not, I'm sorry. I hope you get paid the extra money for the holiday. And anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.